The Assembly is now in session.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Wilson.
I take this obligation freely,
Take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation.
He is singularly able in terms of his skills as a parliamentarian, his knowledge of the rules and regulations, and the history of this House.
Nominated by then Speaker Willie L. Brown, E. Dotson Wilson has served the people of California as the Assembly's chief clerk and parliamentarian since January 1992.
Dotson Wilson will be the first African American in America to assume the responsibility as chief clerk of any legislative body.
Potential laws live or die when members vote, but that voting happens because of Dotson Wilson and his team.
As the chief clerk and parliamentarian and an excellent staff operation of 30 individuals, our job is to make sure that the process runs smoothly and that it runs efficiently. The focus is not on what we do, but the focus is on the elected members of the Assembly, because the 80 members of the Assembly can do something that no one else in the state of California can do. They represent their constituents and represent the policy that is voted on.
Seen by many as the ultimate authority on parliamentary procedure, Wilson himself defers to a greater authority.
So the ultimate authority on legislative procedure, parliamentary procedure, and laws that are adopted by this body are all guided by the key provisions of the state constitution.
Wilson's natural curiosity and youthful interest in public policy, coupled with his parents' guidance, started him on this path as a child.
But I understood at an early age how laws impact our lives. I may have not understood it in a very clear fashion, but I remember when my parents would tell the story, my mother in particular, the story of how they were discriminated against when they went to purchase a home in the late 1950s. And I said, well, how can that occur? Well, there were laws up through the 1960s that said, based on your race or religion, you could be denied the opportunity to live in a certain community no matter how much money you had. And it was right here in this chamber. The legislature narrowly passed legislation in the early 1960s to prohibit discrimination in housing. So that was at the heart of what I knew and learned about politics.
Beginning as an Assembly Fellow in 1979, Wilson worked his way up to become Deputy Chief of Staff to Assembly Speaker Brown.
The clerk will read the roll by counties.
If there were any doubts as to whether he could put aside his partisan background to embrace the institution as a whole, Wilson soon put those fears to rest.
I work closely with Republican as well as Democratic staff. I look forward to the challenge of working in a bipartisan fashion.
Making sure that we provide a nonpartisan framework for the members to conduct their business is critical to the process. In a given two-year session, we're going to record 250,000 votes on behalf of the elected members. 100% accuracy is critical to that process. You have to keep in mind that fewer than 4,000 individuals have ever been elected to serve in this body dating back to 1849.
And Wilson himself has worked with nearly 500 of them during his tenure. With the utmost respect for the traditions of the House, Wilson's efforts to modernize the way the Assembly conducts business include the expansion and professionalization of the Chief Clerk staff,
The clerk will open the roll.
electronic voting,
All members vote who desire to vote.
and saving paper by allowing members to review bills digitally.
This is how the California Assembly floor looked in 1929 when bills were taken up. Thousands and thousands of pages of bills. It looked like this in 1979. It looked like this in 1989 and 1999. In the early 2000s, we're able to satisfy that in-print requirement as long as that bill is displayed on the members' laptops or now on the members' tablets. We'd be satisfying the constitutional requirement. That was perhaps one of the most significant technological changes that took place here in the California legislature.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
E. Dotson Wilson.
One man who has left an indelible mark on the people's house.
I'm not sad. I'm actually excited because I've been afforded the opportunity to work in the greatest legislative body in the world.
Clerk will close the roll.
Normally I would miss the green carpet, but I'll make sure that I have a picture of it close by, and I'll have a green carpet at home so that I can always be reminded of what an extraordinary institution this is.
Are you really gonna get a green carpet at home?
That's what I said.